All right, let's talk about one of the most fundamental tools in any trader's toolkit, the trend line. Seriously, this one simple line can take what looks like total chaos on a chart and turn it into a story you can actually understand. So let's dive right in. You ever pull up a chart and it looks like a total mess, right? Just this random, jagged line going all over the place. Believe me, if you felt that, you are definitely not alone. It's something pretty much everyone feels when they first start. And that right there, that's the core of the problem, isn't it? If you can't figure out the general direction, you know the story the market is trying to tell you, and every single trade feels like you're just guessing, flying blind. But what if I told you there's a really simple tool that helps you see that story clearly? Well, that tool is the trend line. Think of it as your secret weapon for cutting through all of that noise to find the actual signal. It's all about finding that main direction, that sort of path of least resistance that the price is carving out. So, what is it exactly? At its heart, a trend line is just a straight line that you draw on a chart. That's it. I love this analogy. If the price action is a river, the trend line is like the main current. It helps you see where the water's really flowing, you know? You can just ignore all those little splashes and ripples on the surface. And you know what? This one simple line is incredibly powerful because it helps you answer the single most important question you need to ask first. Is the price generally going up or is it going down? That's it. It takes that chaotic mess and boils it down to one of two very, very clear stories. So in the world of trading, we have names for those two stories. There's the uptrend, you've probably heard it called a bull market, and then there's the downtrend or the bear market. Let's actually look at what makes them different. Okay, let's really break this down. Take a look at the left side here. That's your uptrend. See how the price keeps making higher highs and higher lows? It's like it's climbing a staircase. So to draw the trend line, we connect those valleys, the lows. See that? It acts like a rising floor that the price just keeps bouncing off of. We call that support. Now look over on the right, it's the exact opposite, a downtrend. Here the price is making lower highs and lower lows. It's heading down the stairs. So this time we connect the peaks, the highs, and that line acts like a descending ceiling that the price keeps hitting its head on. We call that resistance. Okay, that's the what. So how do we actually draw them correctly? It's probably simpler than you think, but there are definitely a few key rules you gotta know. It really boils down to just 3 steps. Step 1, you find at least 2 major peaks for a downtrend, or 2 major valleys for an uptrend. Step 2, you just connect them with a straight line. But here's the magic, the really crucial part. Step 3, you wait and see if the price comes back to touch that line a 3rd time. That 3rd touch, that's your confirmation. That's the market telling you, hey, we see this line too. All right, now let's get into a few, let's call them golden rules for drawing these things. First, like we just said, that 3rd touch is everything. It validates your line. Second, and this is a big one, try to think of the line less as a razor's edge and more like a zone. Price can poke through it a little bit, that's okay. Also, try to avoid drawing lines that are super steep, over 45 degrees or so. They just tend to break really easily. And last but not least, always remember, the more touches a trend line gets, the more significant it becomes. Okay, but here's where it gets really, really interesting. Trend lines don't last forever, right? In fact, some of the absolute best trading opportunities happen when the price stops respecting the line. We call this a break, and it is a massive clue that the whole story of the market might be about to change. So a break is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's when the price moves decisively, not just a little poke, but a real move right through your trend line. That guardrail analogy works perfectly here. It's like the car has crashed right through it. The old road is gone, and it's looking for a new path. So just imagine this. You've got a stock that's been in a clear downtrend for a while. It's been hitting that descending trend line, that ceiling, over and over again. Then all of a sudden, bam, it punches right through that ceiling. What does that tell you? Well, that is a classic textbook signal that the downtrend might be exhausted and a brand new uptrend could be just getting started. And this is where the rubber meets the road. That break isn't just an interesting thing to notice, it's an actionable signal. For tons of traders, that break is the exact cue they've been waiting for. It gives them a reason to think about buying, or as we say, going long, because the expectation now is that the price is going to start heading up. Look, just mastering this one simple tool, that's a massive first step. It gives you a real framework, a genuine way to start reading the chart's story. But you have to know, this is really just the beginning. It's the foundation for a much bigger picture. So let's recap. A single trend line gives you direction, it gives you potential support, potential resistance. I mean, it is incredibly useful stuff. But the real power in technical analysis comes when you start combining tools. When you find spots on the chart where multiple signals are all pointing to the exact same conclusion. And that brings us to one last really powerful idea I want to leave you with. Just think about this. What happens when your trend line crosses paths with another really important price level? Well, that spot, that area of intersection has a name. It's called confluence. And those confluence zones, that's often where traders find their absolute best opportunities. It's definitely something to chew on as you keep learning. Hey, thanks for digging into this with me today.